I've been a commencement speaker. You're supposed to pull on your life experience to inspire. He pulled on his life experience to criticize, to chastise. I hadn't even been thinking about pride, and I'm gay as hell. Why is pride in your mind like that, dog?
What's going on? It's Keyshawn, and welcome to my show. Undisputed presents all facts and no breaks. Joining me today is an Emmy Award-winning journalist and well-known, like everywhere. He's like the columnist of the LA Times. He was on ESPN. He worked with me at ESPN 710. He's a good friend and partner, not that type of partner. We'll get to that later on. A friend of mine in LZ Granderson. You know, come on, LZ. You know,
That's how rumors get started, man.
They gonna start them rumors anyway. It doesn't matter.
All right,
and my son Keyshawn, if you know,
LZ, how you doing?
What's up? Where'd he go? I can't see him.
He's over there. He's
behind you.
You know, we got to put them on the side. Put him on the side. You know, he got
What's
his
up,
own
Junior?
section.
Just don't mess with the teeth I got over there.
Got you.
Okay. That's for after the show.
What's happening, man?
Man, you know me. I'm just plucking away, covering an election, hoping the Lakers, make the right moves in the offseason, and hoping Dave makes the right moves in the playoffs.
Which Dave?
Roberts, man. Come on.
Oh, well, you said Dave. I didn't know which one you're talking about.
Dave is the only one I'm worried about in the postseason.
See, because I refer to him as a skipper. So.
Okay. All right. Well, you got Skipper. I'm going to call him Dave until we can get another chip.
We doing okay.
No, we ain't doing okay, man. It's the regular season. We always do this in the regular season.
It's still early in the season.
We always do okay.
Ohtani, though.
We know all of this. What we don't know is this the sixth inning. It's game 3. We're down 1, and who's coming out of that bullpen that Dave's gonna pick? That's what we don't know. That's where the trouble comes.
No, it has been a little bit of trouble. So over the last 17 years, man, you spent 17 years at ESPN.
I know.
It's a long time. Me too. I was at 17 years.
You were there for 17 years?
17 years.
You spent most of your time in
well, no, I was back and forward. I was everywhere. I was LA, Bristol.
Okay.
Well, it started off in Bristol first.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was never in Bristol.
So I did Bristol, but I didn't live in Bristol. I lived in LA, and I would fly back and forth on the weekend. Then we created the best morning radio show in all of LA, me, you, and Travis.
Ever,
by far. And then I left there, even though I didn't know I was leaving. At the time I was leaving,
Did they leave you in the tarmac?
No, the rumors were happening. Then I went to New York and took over the morning show. And then I did that for three and a half years, me and Jay, Will, and Max. And now I'm working for Fox because they made a decision that I was no longer needed. Anyway.
Wow. They've made that decision wrongly about a lot of people.
Well, that's part of the business.
Yeah, it is.
You were at ESPN. One of your roles was an NBA editor.
Yep.
Page 2 columnist, which I don't even know what that is. Radio host,
Wait,
co-host.
what do you mean you don't know what page 2 was?
I don't remember it.
Ralph Wiley? Hunter S. Thompson?
No.
Oh, man.
No.
That hurts my ego.
I don't.
Because page 2 is one of the things that's high on my LinkedIn page.
Yeah, but I don't. Only thing you were like the Sports Nation. I don't remember page 2. What was it, like a column or something?
So ESPN.com was
well, that's the
like
problem with me right there, .com.
So there you go. So the .com was like the clean-cut version of ESPN, right? And then page 2 is where they kept the riffraff.
So they put y'all on
page 2. on page 2. Bomani Jones was page 2. So, they kept all those rebel rousers over there.
So you did all that working with so many different people. Yep. But I really want to know, though, out of everybody you worked with over the 17 years, why did I become the favorite? That's really what I want to know.
Because you paid all the meals, man. Every time you went out, you paid all the drinks. No. It's weird,
No,
man.
I didn't pay for... I don't think I paid in New York before the U.S. Open. At Toscana... I think it was Toscana we went to or whatever it was called.
Did I pay?
I think you might have paid.
Oh, I must have been drunk. I would have never taken my card out first.
It was the night before the opening of the U.S. Open.
Oh, when you got me drunk before work.
You got drunk before we went down.
Right,
Remember
so
we walked downstairs in the...
Listen, I'm going to tell... So, day before the U.S. Open,
Yes.
we're hanging out. I forgot what sort of speakeasy place you done got me to.
It was Toscana. I think that's the name of it, right?
It was something. It was something hidden.
My bad. La Esquina.
It was hidden.
No, it was La Esquina.
It wasn't. It
In
wasn't
Soho.
regular.
Yeah,
it
La
wasn't.
Esquina.
The Uber driver didn't know where to drop us off.
It was La
It was
Esquina.
hidden. That's
Yeah,
right.
because up top was the diner, then you go downstairs.
So I go downstairs. We have a couple drinks. I'm thinking we just drinking for a couple drinks. You convinced me to stay up all night long. Next thing I know, 6 hours later, the alarm goes off. I ain't study. I ain't sober, but I got 12 hours attendance ahead of me. So you a bad influence on me. But the reason why I love you so much, Key, real talk, it was the first time we met.
Yeah.
At the restaurant. Harold and Bells, right?
Harold and Bells.
Harold and Bells, because you wanted to check my black card.
Well, they told me, okay, so the only thing I knew...
Wait, who they? Who they? I need to know how this all started.
Well, we actually have that old tweet of yours so I guess first time you guys met, he picked the soul food joint in the hood so he could check his black card.
No, that's not it. This isn't it.
And then when he found out that they didn't have cornbread,
yeah.
he had to check in. He had to see if you had your black card.
No, that's true, but that's not this isn't the video. This is like
that's from Cabo.
It's just a tweet.
Yeah,
oh, no, this is Cabo.
But he's talking about when you guys first met.
Oh, yeah. So when we first met, it was Amanda and Dan.
Yeah.
Me, you, Amanda, Dan. So
Yep.
they say, hey, we're trying to put the show together. We want you, obviously, to be a part. We need you to approve the individuals you could be possibly working with.
Approve.
Okay.
Okay.
So I said, man, who? You don't know this LZ Granderson? I said, LZ Granderson? I think I know that name. It's a dude from like CNN, and I think he works on like ESPN doing something. So I remember Amanda sending me a picture. I'm like, oh, shit, this dude here, he got dreads and shit. I'm like, okay, let me figure this dude out. So obviously I knew that you was LBGTQ, right? I knew that.
Right. Just one of them, though. I'm not all of them. I'm just the G part. I don't do all the other ones.
So I'm like, Keyshawn, first thing I do, I'm inner city kid. So I'm like, man, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take him to Harold and Bells and see what he talking about, because I know him from afar. He's a journalist. So he really could be like, hey, how you doing there, Keyshawn? So I just wanted to make sure. So we go in the place and we order. And you wanted cornbread.
Cornbread, man.
But they gave us the French bread. Because
that ain't black.
What you mean?
Black.
It was Louisiana.
Black is either the Jiffy.
Well, that's poor.
If your mama can't really cook. Right. If your mama can't really cook, she give you Jiffy. But if she can burn.
25 cents a box.
Yeah, exactly. But if she can burn, she make the home meal with the little
I get it, but Harold and Bells, because of the cuisine.
I don't know why they don't have no cornbread.
No, because I guess it's the Creole. I guess that's why.
Listen, man, there is cornbread in Louisiana.
I understand, but for some reason they don't make it. Anyway, he tried to say I wasn't black because I didn't take him to a place that had cornbread.
Exactly.
You should have took him to Stevie's Creole.
I don't think Stevie's was available at that time.
Oh, okay.
They hadn't opened back up.
But KJ. Is that what we call him? KJ?
Junior.
Keyshawn Jr., what we call him?
I call him Kiki.
Kiki. Junior.
I can't call him Kiki.
Why?
Exactly.
That
You call me Junior.
Yeah, I'm going to call him Junior.
Why? Because it's coming from you?
Because a gay black man should be calling no other
Oh,
man.
stop,
That ain't cool, man. That ain't cool, man.
I respect you for that. Hey.
Well, Keyshawn.
All right,
Junior.
Keyshawn Jr. All right, there we go. Keep that official. What was really crazy about that day was that Key was already at the restaurant. I was in the car with Dan and Amanda, who are both white. And we're driving through the hood, and there's some cop activity happening.
Uh-huh.
And Dan and Amanda want to drive by to see what's going on. And I was like, we don't do that. I was like, no. You need to go away from the police officers, not towards the police officer. So I was already in the space when I saw you.
No, but it was good. It was fun times, obviously, working with him. It was Keyshawn. It was we had a blast, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And
still having fun.
No, it still have fun to this day, all the time. So it was groundbreaking, right? For you and ESPN, and we've talked about it. First, openly, correct me if I'm wrong, and make sure I'm getting it right now, because y'all can sometimes, you know how it goes.
I don't really pay attention to that history stuff, but you go ahead.
First openly black journalist at ESPN?
Huh.
Or in general? Want to get it right.
You know, I don't really know. To your point, I don't really know.
But we gonna lie and say you are.
I don't know where I fall in the whole history of all of that.
Well, we gonna say.
But this is what but real talk though, I'm gonna tell you what I do know. When I got hired, there was openly queer people who were white in the magazine.
Yep.
There weren't any people who were of color at the magazine. When I got to campus at Bristol, I didn't see no people of color who were queer, and very, 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 very few who were white.
Okay.
So as far as I know, you're probably right.
I'm gonna give you that.
I don't have all the history, but I do know this for sure. I was the first openly gay when I hosted a daily show on ESPN.
Oh, okay.
I do know that.
So you shared pictures and stories on air about the wedding to another man. Now
that's the G part. Yeah.
I'm assuming that man is Steve.
That man is Steve. Yeah.
My good friend Steve.
Your good friend Steve.
Yeah, my good friend Steve. What how did that? So, you and I, we always joke and have fun and stuff. But how did that affect your sexual orientation? How did that affect the way people kind of viewed, or way you felt people viewed you now? It's like, I'm free, I'm him, I am what I am, and this is who my partner is, and we rolling.
You know, man, what's really interesting is that sometimes I feel like the energy is coming at me because I'm queer, and sometimes the energy is coming at me because he's white.
Mm-hmm.
And, I spent a lot of time early in our relationship, trying to answer those questions like you're presenting. How are people perceiving me, blah, 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 blah. But you get to a point, man, when you have real peace with yourself that you really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Because you realize, not that you don't care what people think of you, we all do. That's why we brush our teeth and take showers. We don't want to stink and offend other people. But you can't let their opinions dictate your life. Well, some people, right. I mean, some days I don't shower. It's not about other people. It's just like, I just don't feel like it because I don't feel like moisturizing. Right? I'm already moisturized. If I shower, I got to re-moisturize or risk being ashy in this public. I'd rather be funky and moisturized than out in the streets, clean but ashy. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. So when you look
when I think about all of that, and you talk about the wedding pictures that day, I knew when they put those pictures up on the show, it was going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, and I was okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I also knew there would be little kids who would see that and be like, oh, there's hope for me.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I can still be something in life even though I feel this way because look what's on television. I didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons why it was important to me to show my wedding pictures on ESPN, because I wanted people who love sports like I do to know that just because, you love gender differently doesn't mean that has anything to do with your affinity for the Lakers or how you feel about any other sports. Like those two things one doesn't dictate the other.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood there, sir. So when
it's so funny being interviewed by you. Because I'm used to us being in the morning going, damn, what we doing next? What's going on?
So in recent years, right, there's been a number of celebrities or athletes or whatever the case is, however you say it, have come out in a celebratory way of what their sexuality is and what they feel about who they are and things like that. I guess I would say to some degree you explained it, but what did it feel like for you when that time came? Like, how did that?
It depended on the situation. Everyone was different. Mm-hmm. Everyone. I remember when this tennis player came out, Amelie Mauresmo. She was number one player in the world. She had just won the best title of her career. I was working at the magazine. We closed the magazines on Sunday. She's finished. She wins this tournament on Sunday. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching her win. And I noticed that the cameras don't show her partner, who is literally right next to her coach. So they're tightening up the shot so that you can see the coach clapping and happy for her. And literally the woman she loves and has married since is right next to her, and they didn't show her. So I got my phone out. You know me. I'm not going to tell you who I emailed, but they were important. Uh-huh. And I said, this is what homophobia looks like.
Yeah.
Because every single man who wins anything of significance, you see who he's banging, who he done bang, who wants to bang him. You see all of that on the camera, right? You have this one woman who happens to be a lesbian, and literally her life partner is sitting next to her coach, and you tighten the shot so that you only see the dude and not the woman because you don't want to tell audiences, and that's her lover. So in those moments, I'm glad I'm in that position because I have the gravitas, I have the courage to stand up and fight for my community in that way. But then when Jason Collins came out, I don't know if you remember this, you know.
I was with you, wasn't I?
No, man. I was alone. And the reason why I know I was alone, because I was ridiculed on air. I was told I was going to hell for being gay. I was berated trying to celebrate Jason Collins. And when all that shit popped off, no one from ESPN checked in on me. They all checked in on the other dude to make sure he was okay because I had read him on air and he wasn't prepared for all of that. But you still need to check in on me because I'm the one that was being attacked. So there are moments in which I look and I go, okay, I'm glad I'm in that position to be able to defend and stand up for my community. And there are other moments in which I go, damn, I'm on air. Jason, when it came out, how come you ain't telling him he go? I was just minding my own business.
Remember my Jason? Remember, because we know Jason. I've been knowing Jason since him and Jared was in junior high. Remember I was in Brooklyn and I called you that time? I was walking down the street and I described. You remember that? Keyshawn, I'm walking from my house in Brooklyn a couple years ago and I told LZ, I just described who Jason Collins was in terms of his size. I just said his size and kind of gave, remember that? I'm like, I'm walking down the street. I just ran into somebody. He about 9 feet tall, And LZ got it immediately. It was the funniest shit ever. I was like, and then Jason, we FaceTime. It was pretty,
he's such a good dude, man.
No, yeah, for sure.
He's such a good dude.
You know what? That's right, I wasn't with you. I might have, Keyshawn, I might have been with you at that restaurant with the kids in Brentwood because he had just announced or whatever. And then we saw him within an hour later at a restaurant. That's what it was. In Brentwood. Yeah, we saw him then. But so what's your favorite memory of working with me? What's the one thing that stood out?
Waffle House in Atlanta.
What happened to Waffle House in Atlanta?
Y'all was going to Waffle House in Atlanta?
The Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl was down there. Man, you don't remember, man? We were so ghetto.
I remember.
We were so damn ghetto. So
yeah.
It must
That's what I was thinking.
It was like 4 in the morning.
It was 3 or 4 in the morning.
We had to get up to do our show like an hour later.
But the thing is
stinking and smell like tequila.
Me and Raj, we sitting. So me and Raj, our former producer,
because I wasn't with y'all
with us at first.
I wasn't with
so
y'all.
we sitting there and we surrounded by people. We toe up.
Yeah,
we toe. And I remember saying to him, I was like, "Good thing Key will have the show tomorrow. We good. Key and Travis. And
I'll be asleep.
You know what I mean? And then we see you walking down the street, stumbling around. And I said, Raj, look, that's supposed to be our helpmate. He out here drunk too. I was like, so he's like, Key, come on in.
Yeah, no, I remember.
That
I
was
coming from Top Golf at like 4 a.m. in the morning. Faded too.
But we killed that show though. We killed that show.
Drunk.
Yeah. We were drunk.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure if you had put a match next to me, I would have just went up in flames. I had so much alcohol in me.
Same thing. I probably drank because we had started drinking at the show at like 7 a.m. in the morning.
7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, all day long. We were drinking all day long. Then I went to Top Golf to that event. Remember, I went with Travis.
Right, yeah.
And I was swinging and falling down and drunk.
And me and Raj, we went to the CAA party.
Yep.
And we got drunk on the top shelf liquor that they had. And we thought, get some waffles and soak up the alcohol, we'd be all right. I did not know you were in them streets too. But for some reason, man, that show turned out fire.
Yeah, we was fire.
Well, we were fire.
Some of our best shows was drunk shows.
How come we not drinking now?
No, it's not. We're not there yet. You interview many, many, many people from presidents of the United States to athletes to you name it, all sorts of diplomats at your work, whether it's ABC News, CNN, podcasts, whatever other stuff that you've done. What's your favorite athlete interview of all time?
Man, favorite athlete interview. I think the one that shocked me the most was the interview I did with Roger Federer.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had already won like a bunch of championships and we knew he was special. So he might be on championship 5 or 6, right? So this is like 2004, 2005. But it was clear he was the man. We were having dinner. Nike had arranged for me to have a one-on-one with him. And so I'm standing waiting for his entourage to show up, the cars, whatever. This dude's walking down the street by himself. unbothered, just, and the first thing I thought was, not a whole lot of global superstars could walk down the street in New York by themselves and be comfortable. So that grabbed your attention right away. And then as we sat there and we started to talk, I got it. I was like, now I know why they love you. You know how to work the media. And he doesn't work the media from because LeBron knew how to work the media. Jordan knows how to work. Like great players, Serena, everyone knows how to work the media. You know how to work the media. But he knows how to work the media in a way that you don't know you've been worked until you done already wrote
the story.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, man, he got me writing all kinds of love letters to him and stuff in his piece. I don't even like him like that. But he's so smooth with it.
Yeah.
He's almost like a Bill Clinton-esque sort of charismatic sort of persona around him. It's why when he retired, you saw Rafa was crying. You ain't see, how many times do you see your opponents when you retire crying because they're going to miss you? You know what I'm saying? Like he had dudes crying because they're going to miss his presence, even though he was kicking their ass all that time. That's how smooth he was. It was an incredible interview.
What's what would be your favorite story to cover? That'd be sports. It could be political. It could be any of those things.
Man, there's one tournament, and I know you hate when I talk about tennis all the time. But
my son Keyshawn plays tennis.
We love tennis.
All right, good. Well, I would tell you, that
I love tennis.
So you know that tournament in Monte Carlo?
Yes. Many times.
Have you really? That's the one I want to go to, dog. That's the one I want to go to.
I ain't going there, but he have I been? I'm like,
yeah.
You talking to, damn fool?
Have you seen this, the stadium and everything?
Yes.
It's gorgeous, man. And they sitting there with the linen tables and the champagne glasses. And it's not a regular stadium. They're sitting there, man, like there's a dinner table.
Yes.
And they're sitting there and they got the legs crossed.
But that's all of them, though. The Italian Open is the same way. They got it was so uncomfortable, though, because he's big, it's hard.
Well, I ain't that big. So I want some of that life. That's one event I want to attend. And then the other I would like to attend is the first inauguration of the first female president.
Well, you almost was close.
It was close. I got the black guy.
Yeah.
Check.
He got that check mark down.
I need a woman. I need, somebody queer. And then, something else unexpected. But I would love to be there when the first female president inaugurated.
So you joined ESPN during LeBron's rookie year.
Yep.
As someone, I guess, who covered him from the beginning.
Yeah.
These conversations always come up, and I don't really care.
You about to ask me about Jordan?
It's always going to be a Michael Jordan debate along with LeBron. So you've covered him. You saw him the entire way. Is it LeBron, Michael, Kareem, Kobe? Like, who's the GOAT in your eyes in the NBA?
All right. So here's my criteria. In order to be considered in the GOAT conversation, first things first, you have to be the best player at your position. So as much as I love Kobe, I can't put him in the conversation because no one thinks he was the best two guard of all time. Everyone thinks it's Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Right? The reason why LeBron's in that conversation is because he's the greatest three-point or three spot in all time. Better than Bird, better than Dominique, better than any small forward I can think of. Easily. Greatest small forward of all time. Magic's the greatest point guard, Kareem's the greatest center, etc. So to me, that is where you begin the conversation. If you want the best at your position, then how are you the best out of all the positions, right? So that's first. And then I start talking about accomplishments. Accomplishments are interesting because a lot of people skip over the context. And I'm about to break this down, and you and I, we've talked about this.
Man, all I let people know what we talk about.
Well, we talk about a lot of stuff, but we talked about this on the show. So I feel comfortable saying this right here, right now. The way that people talk about LeBron James and the decision and moving to Miami and all of that totally took away a lot of people's opinions in terms of him being the GOAT. And they go back to that. And I understand why they do that. Because Michael Jordan stayed in one franchise and did it all in one franchise.
Yeah.
But what they don't say is Michael Jordan had a competent franchise. And that's why he was able to do that.
Okay.
When you think about LeBron James, people are talking about Anthony Edwards, 22 years old. Is he like the next Michael Jordan? I'm like, LeBron took a damn team to the finals when he was 22. What is we doing here? How are we forgetting this history? Oh, because some of the gatekeepers don't want to acknowledge just how great LeBron has been throughout his career.
Mhm.
They want to talk about his failures,
Yeah.
but not about the things he did that were 22. Had no legitimate number
the East
two.
was weak though.
No. The Detroit Pistons were one of the best teams in the league, and
I
LeBron.
didn't say Detroit. I said the East.
And LeBron beat that team with 2 Hall of Famers on it, goes to the finals at 22, and lose to a team with 3 Hall of Famers on it, and Greg Popovich, maybe the greatest coach of all time.
So
That's 22, right?
So LeBron is the great.
So no. So what I'm saying is that context, man. What
Okay.
happened after that? He goes to the finals. He gets swept. What happened?
He leaves and goes to Miami.
Nope. Kevin Garnett
Oh yeah, KG.
waives his no trade clause,
and
goes to Boston. They form a big 3.
Yeah.
So LeBron at 22 takes the team to the finals. The very next move, Boston forms that big 3 because Kevin Garnett waives his no trade clause. They trade for Ray Allen, and boom, and they ran that until LeBron goes to Miami. But they characterized it like LeBron was weak, and that's why he went to Miami in order to get to where he needed to be. When the truth is,
Well, they
LeBron,
don't characterize anything.
No.
Paul Pierce is the one who said he ran.
It's not just Paul. KG says it too. And a lot of people say, you go to any barbershop, a lot of people think that he ran, and it's like he didn't necessarily ran. Think about his front office. That man said,
He didn't necessarily ran. That ain't even English.
He didn't run. He didn't run. Think about it though, Key. He in Cleveland. He says, can we trade for Amari Stoudemire? Because I need help.
Yeah.
You know what they gave him? A 40-year-old Antoine Jameson. You remember that?
Yes.
It's 40 years who didn't have hops when he was in college. So if you're going to talk about accomplishments and the individual and how they impacted their careers, you have to talk about the whole thing in its context. I think LeBron James is the greatest for one simple reason and one reason only. You never pick the smaller, slower, weaker athlete if everything else is even.
Yeah.
And when I think about LeBron and Jordan, I don't think there's anything that LeBron can do or Jordan can do that the other can't do. Jordan's a better free throw shooter. LeBron's a better three-point shooter and the better passer. Jordan's probably the better individual defender, but it's very, very, very close. So if it's very close and one is 6'8" and 260 and the other one's 6'6" and 220, which one you gonna do? You always pick the bigger and stronger person if everything else is equal.
I don't pick GOATs. I mean, like I said, Kareem, if you're going to have a conversation, you're going to start with the cap. I don't give a damn what nobody say.
Okay.
I don't care.
I don't have a problem with that.
You got to start with the cap.
But are you going to finish with the cap?
But you start with the cap, man. The cap won at every level multiple times and 5 MVPs and just the cap, right?
Listen,
I mean,
if we want to say Kareem is the GOAT,
crazy.
I'm
not saying that.
If we want to, I'm good with that.
I don't ever pick a GOAT. People always say, man, you always on the fence. I just don't pick one. Because then I could, just like you broke down LeBron,
right? Which
is fair, you also could break down Jordan. There was nobody that had the aura that when Jordan walked in the room, man, it's a different feel.
It's a different feel.
It's just a different feel. I was a kid wearing a knee brace, nothing was wrong with my damn knee. I just did it because Michael Jordan did it.
But that's how we feel about LeBron.
I still treat my gun the same way.
That's how people my age feel about LeBron. So it's like,
but I fuck with LeBron regardless. I still that's my guy.
But we were talking aura. Like LeBron has that aura for my age group and 18 to 25. I feel like,
you know why? Because the man has averaged 25 points a game your whole damn life.
Right. Yeah. But MJ,
I mean, come on.
But of course, but MJ just something about it. Then you dive into basketball for whatever it's worth.
Yeah.
If MJ put the ball on the floor, poor B. Russ, he moves him out the way, knocks it down, goes home. Then you look at LeBron, it's like, well, is he ever gonna hit a shot like that? That really
wow.
That's the way I was telling you. This is what
he has a lot of bad LeBron takes. So.
How do I have a lot of bad LeBron?
You said he couldn't dunk on anyone. Now
no. What I said is most idiots, even the dude at the airport the other day tried to tell me about that Keyshawn talking about, man, you said he ain't never posterized nobody. There's a difference in posterizing and what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jordan S., Ant-Man, posterizing, leaning at leaning.
Nah, you off, Key.
Yeah, he has a bunch of those.
He done caught so many bodies, man.
No, but I'm not talking about
him the Crypt Keeper,
I'm not talking about catching them like that. I'm talking about
no.
crazy when you just
the bodies.
God.
I'm with you. In a half-court set when the defense is set and dudes see you coming and there's a moment at the rim, Bron's got the moments, man.
I've seen it when he was on the Lakers. He's got the moments,
man.
It just, I don't know. I've never seen it. I'm looking for it.
I'm
not saying he ain't going to just dominate a dude on a dunk. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm just talking about the shit that you see Ant-Man, that when a dude really, that poster that's at home, where the dude is parallel in the air.
You know what's different? I'm going to tell you what's different about Bron, and it's almost the same thing that Shaq deals with to a certain degree. Because the physicality of it is so much in their favor.
I understand.
That nobody is going to give them the full respect of their domination because they make it look easy because they're so much bigger than everyone else.
Think about it. When Jordan was playing and I played basketball, I used to try to figure out how to stay in the air. Like I just, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Sativa.
Stop. But anyway,
just stay. Man.
So you say LeBron to go? I don't think anybody. I say
LeBron to go. Now that doesn't mean
I done seen them all play. I done seen Kareem, Michael.
If you own
LeBron, Kobe, it's hard.
Say you own a franchise.
Yeah.
All right. You have an opportunity to draft someone.
See, that's what I want to see. There you go. See that one. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
No, and see,
that's
to me,
kind of, but
me,
it ain't quite Jordan.
To me, that's 2018. You need to go back to like
2013.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. When he was catching bodies,
but
man.
He's 6'8", so it looks different.
That's what I just said. That's what I just. But Brian been catching bodies since he got in this league,
but it
man.
just looked different, man.
And between the decision and the fact that Jordan looks sweeter.
It just looked.
He looks sweeter, man.
And I bought my.
But they ain't got nothing to do with results.
I used to buy this. Me and MJ when I played early on in my career.
Yeah, yo, who?
MJ. I said me and MJ.
Oh, I didn't know it was like that. I didn't know.
So I started buying my suits from the same tailor as him. No, everybody.
Them caftans. Them caftans that just be floating around.
But think about it. In
them big old Steve Harvey
1998,
coats.
Man, the joints was covering your shoes. But that's what it was.
The only thing I wanted to do like Mike was chew gum.
I did that too.
I always.
And I had my earring, my hat on.
I had a broke-ass jump shot. You couldn't tell me nothing.
All that. But
so I get you, man. Like Jordan has people's hearts.
But I'd rock with LeBron too.
But Bron has the facts. Ain't nobody scoring more points than him.
No.
I mean, so whatever you want to say about LeBron's killer instinct, you don't get to have more points than everybody else without a killer instinct.
I think he got a killer instinct. I'm just telling you what the public's saying, man.
I hear it, and
I didn't make the news. I'm reporting news.
I get it. I think the dynamic is twofold. I think there are gatekeepers who grew up with Jordan, who covered Jordan, who were offended that this conversation was happening, and because of that, went overboard in their defense of their era. And the other thing is that Bron has a tendency to do things that make people want him not to be GOAT.
All right.
Either it's the flopping or the passive-aggressive memes on social. Those little things make people not want him to be GOAT because they don't remember what Jordan was like because we didn't have social media.
Imagine if Michael Jordan had a Twitter. Like, that would be crazy.
No. What if TMZ was around when he was going down to gamble at Jersey and TMZ was around?
TMZ around here, man.
Come on, man.
We don't need that in our lives.
Man. All I know, if I'm a franchise, and this is real talk, if you're a franchise owner and you have a number one pick and everything that you know about Kareem, Bron, and Jordan.
I'm taking Kareem.
I might take Kareem, but I'm for sure taking the guy who's been playing for 22 years and
Kareem
still ain't fall off.
21. I'm taking Kareem.
Yeah, but at 21, he was looking broke down.
Yeah, but I'm taking Kareem.
You can take Kareem. This is year 21 for LeBron, and we're laughing at him for not leading a team to a championship in year 21. That tells me that alone makes him GOAT.
So let's get a little serious here.
I thought that was serious.
No, we're going to get serious. we're going to get serious, but at the same time, we're going to have a little bit of fun.
All right.
So I'm sure in the news, and yesterday I was going to text you after you text me, when you were boarding the plane of the whatever the guy was, the baggage guy.
The Ewok I showed you.
Stupid.
This dude look like a Ewok, man.
Man, leave that man alone, man. He sent me a picture of this dude. The fuck is wrong with LZ?
I was like, do you know where Princess Leia is?
He certainly did look like that. But anyway, Kansas City Chief kicker.
Here you go.
Harrison Butker. Hopefully I got that correct.
Hopefully you got it wrong.
Gave a commencement speech and compared Pride Month, which is coming up in about 2 weeks, It's June still, right?
It's still June.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just making sure because,
I was surprised on his mind, too. I wasn't thinking about pride.
So he compared
we living rent-free in your head, dog. Why is that?
Pride Month to a deadly sin and basically told women to get back into the kitchen.
Right.
And do, I guess, motherly duties or whatever, wife duties or whatever the case is. Like this is the, 1915 or something like that.
Or it could be today.
Whatever.
Whatever. Listen, man.
What's your thoughts on that?
Everyone's entitled, obviously, to their own opinion.
Yeah.
The problem isn't with Harrison. The problem is the university decided that guy should speak to our kids. And they chose him probably because of his popularity. He's on a Super Bowl winning team, blah, blah, blah. They didn't sit back and say, what is he going to say to these young people at this moment that's going to take them to the next level of their careers? Because they did not come to college to raise kids. They went to college to build their careers and to better themselves as individuals. And did he say something that you thought was edifying? Or did he say something that presented a perspective of his, from his own experience, that he was trying to project onto the student body? You're supposed to, and I've been a commencement speaker, you're supposed to pull on your life experience to inspire. He pulled on his life experience to criticize, to chastise. He pulled from his life experience to get political and talked about President Biden and his faith as if he is the person, the gatekeeper of the Catholic faith. I didn't hear shit from Harrison yet when all these Catholic priests were being busted for, come on now. Where was your commencement speech then?
Yeah.
But like I said, I hadn't even been thinking about pride, and I'm gay as hell. Why is pride in your mind like that, dog? Why do we stay locked in on everybody else's shit as opposed to just focusing in on what you need to do in your own individual life? I'm not running around telling people how to live their lives. Yeah. I break down politics, I break down culture, but you can read me, you can listen to me. I never tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that. And as a commencement speaker, I really felt offended by that because I'm an educator. You know this, I teach. And like your moment in front of these young people are so precious. And he took that moment and he ridiculed, the queer students out there. He ridiculed progressives / non-MAGA people. But more importantly, he took that moment and he just shat all over all those young women who worked so hard to get to that degree with his view of what he thinks they should do with the rest of their lives, as opposed to inspiring them to pursue what they think they should do with the rest of their lives.
Yeah, obviously I'm not gay.
I don't get into your personal life.
But I was offended because you know how I am about that stuff. I don't play that shit at all.
Right.
When you start doing things that are saying things about communities or people that you shouldn't, if you don't know what you're talking about.
If you don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know that individual person or whatever the case may be. So, me, I was extremely offended by it because I thought, what if you're on a team and your star player who led you to many Super Bowl victories or whatever you want to call it happens to be gay without you even knowing? And you do this and you treat it this way? Or let's just say somebody in your family is in that position and you say these things and you do these things. And then furthermore, I had a mother who's no longer with me, and I have sisters and I have daughters. Mm-hmm. And their job is not to sit in a kitchen. Seriously.
He said vocation, man.
Whatever.
He's trying to make it sound fancy, honorable.
That's not their job. They have dreams and aspirations of becoming something bigger. I have a 14-year-old daughter who has her own company. And eventually she's going to probably, in my eyes and my view, take that company to a whole nother level in a short period of time where she's going to start taking care of daddy.
Well, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be like, so, All Facts with London.
Well, that's the plan. And so when I start to hear this sort of stuff, you sit back, you go, man, dude, really stupid. But he doesn't get it.
But he's not stupid. He's part of a larger sort of conversation that's been happening in these spaces. Because he's a political conservative, and I have
Do
Nothing
whatever
wrong
you
with
want
that.
to do with your political beliefs. But don't.
But it's part of this. There's this narrative key that's multi-tier. The first is that there is an attack on what it means to be masculine and be a man in this country. That's first. We have elected officials who talk about this. We have one who's written a book about this.
Yeah.
And Harrison is a friend of one of those elected officials. So it's part of that overall thing. Two, it's a political year. It's an election year. And so he's doing everything he can because he wants his guy to get in, clearly.
I understand.
And he took that moment to do those things. But I don't think he's stupid. I think he was very conscious of what he was doing.
It may have been calculated.
And it was calculated.
It may have been.
He went to Georgia
calculated.
Tech. He's not a stupid kicker, but he's an asshole kicker to me.
Educationally that he's a knucklehead as far as
Yeah, he's
education
not a
goes.
knucklehead,
I just
no.
It
was an asshole thing to do, in my opinion.
It was very much so an asshole thing to
That's
do.
just, yeah.
No question about it.
Dad, what would you do if you had to deal with a teammate who has polar opposite life views than you?
Nothing. The same thing I do with LZ.
Yeah.
Nothing. Live our life and have fun and enjoy. And I've had teammates that were in question way back then.
You got any numbers?
Man,
Any
will you
names?
stop?
What, man? Kids are back in the market, man. How you don't stop hating.
You wouldn't want them.
Oh, all right. But on the offensive line side of life, I need some skill positions.
You wouldn't want them. But you're so stupid. And so
You are funny.
I've had teammates that was in question. But I've always been a person that wrapped my arms around people. You know, my daughter, your sister, dibbled and dabbled in that world, in that community.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? I embraced the situation and had no problems with it at all. Come on, bring your friends. Let's roll. We ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem. When LZ came up to Maya's funeral, LZ recognized a couple friends immediately. It was like, oh, okay, I get it. So
Yeah.
it's fine. That's the world that people choose to live in. Has nothing to do with us. All we can do is support it, live it, and be a part of it, and live their dream with them. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you can do.
Man, I have
Man,
a whole community, straight up. I have a whole community of gay friends, gay men. And all we do is...
Really?
Yeah, and all we do, my little group, all we do is talk about ball.
Of course.
We text each other. When the Lakers got eliminated, my whole timeline was flooded with these memes from nothing but gay dudes who are just like me. We're sports obsessed. We give each other shit, and all we care about is taking care of our shit, and loving life and being good people and etc. And everyone else who heaps in all that other stuff in this space, they're the one that's making it more difficult.
Yeah. So Keyshawn, I've always gone places with LZ, different spots. Dinners, lunches, whatever the case may be. So we do in June, we do a little Pride March walk or whatever the case is. So
this was your idea. Make sure that you say that part.
how was it my idea?
I didn't say we should go there.
No, it was 20. What year was it?
That was 2020.
2020. So we walking in 2020, we walk from, where the hell we walk from?
Well, we're in the march. So it's not a Pride March. It's actually
it's a combination.
Yeah, it
was a Black Lives Matter
Yep.
Pride March combination.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's me at LZ. We start off.
My hair was cold. My hair was cold back then. Look at that.
Yeah, cool little dreads.
Yeah,
going on.
man.
Yeah.
I gotta give my girl.
So-
we gotta get that look back.
It's thousands of people, right? So we start off on Highland and Hollywood Boulevard. You know where that's at, right, club
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
Hollywood and Highland. So we go all the way down all the way down Hollywood. We make the left on La Brea. We go to Sunset in La Brea. We make the right. We march all the way down to Sunset. We make the left on Fairfax or Crescent Heights, I think, or Crescent Heights.
See, y'all were going a while. I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
No,
yeah,
was
we
walking.
marched.
We was
Yeah, you were
marching.
marching, man.
We out there,
We was fighting
doing
for
the damn
freedom, man.
thing. We was fighting.
yeah, facts.
So we marching. We get in between Sunset and Santa Monica, and we marching. It's a dude on the balcony. He half naked. He got on. He got on like just his briefs, and he had like a bear, like a mascot, like this bear helmet thing on.
Right. Like
at
you was seeing the
top.
Masked Singer.
Yeah, like the Masked Singer type deal. He up there dancing and doing his thing. Then LZ walking. I'm like, LZ, come on, man, look at this. Look at this shit, man.
It's always
You're
gotta
not
be
used to
one.
that, huh?
It's
No, I
always
was
gotta be
good.
one,
I was
man.
good with it. So wait, so now we continue to walk. Now we walk down Santa Monica Boulevard to San Vicente. So we get stopped right at San Vicente, and we can't cross the lights, the police, the whole deal. Then there's two young dudes. What were they about? Like, tell the story. He loved this one. This was funny.
So in our community, we have these different sort of ways we describe the way man looks. And these two twinks, who are very young, thin men, came up to us. One in particular was covered in glitter. He was shirtless too, right?
He was glitter.
Yeah, he was all glitter. And he was talking to Key. He was shooting a shot with Key. And I was watching. I thought it was hilarious. And then he looks at Key and goes, "What, you don't like glitter?" And you know what? I fell out. I was like, damn, that's a good line right there, man.
But
that's
what you had said to me. No, remember he said, "Oh, you don't like glitter?" I was like, no, it ain't that I like glitter. You know, I don't want all the glitter on my wife, Jen. You know?
Yeah, you gotta throw that out there.
Man, he said he brought up his wife. Yo, man, he ain't never brought up a woman's name so fast before in his life.
That's the best way you could have got out of that situation.
You know what? But in the old days, see, my generation, when a dude does that, we would have pulled back and we were like, oh, okay, you know, blah. These new kids, they different, man. Y'all generation different.
Up on me.
He was like, oh, well, she ain't here.
I was like, LZ, will you tell this dude to leave me the hell alone?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're so handsome. I'm like, no, man, I'm married. I got kids. I'm just doing this with my man. And then we walk to the Abbey. The Abbey, which is the club. So we go to the Abbey. We sit down at the Abbey. We gonna drink and get some lunch or whatever. Me and LZ, we sitting there, and there's two couples sitting next to us, right? The dude swear me and LZ was together. Man. And I kept telling him, no, he works with me.
They kept tipping the glasses.
They were tipping the glasses
our way.
They kept doing this.
Nodding the head. And like,
I was like, Lord have mercy.
Meanwhile, I'm upset because, you messing my thing up.
Right.
I don't want folks thinking we together.
The blocker, huh?
Yeah. I got a whole parade full of options.
But wait,
and this dude cock blocking by proxy.
Wait, though. Afterwards, LZ get up, go to the bathroom. I'm sitting there by myself. Now I'm like, these dudes are ready. Dude done slid up a chair. He want to start talking to me and start talking about, oh, you guys just look so happy together. Remember that?
Man, to show him the wallpaper.
I was like, no, he works for me. LZ comes back. Dude, like, yeah, sure y'all work together.
Sure did.
I was like, Lord have mercy, boy.
That's
God.
But you know what, though, man? What I love about that whole thing, really, was at the beginning. Because I had been covering all the protests, right?
Yeah.
George Floyd gets murdered, and the protests happened almost immediately. And I've been covering them, and you had been asking me about it.
Yeah.
And then I said to you, well, just come on, and and you just showed up.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of dudes,
right,
current, past, who would do that. I remember walking the streets against gun violence with Joakim Noah. And this is when I lived in Chicago, and he was with the Bulls. And, I'm covering my stuff. You know me. I'm in the streets doing my thing. And Joe actually invited me to.
Yeah.
He had already been marching. And I always love athletes who don't just talk it on air, but actually go out in the streets. So when you showed up, you was there before me because, I'm always late. So you showed up before me. I was like, oh, yeah, he real. He real.
Right, yeah, of course. I'm going to support the cause if it makes sense.
Yeah, but everybody ain't in them streets like that, though.
But that's on them. They got to
live with saying.
They got to live with that, not me.
That's what I'm saying.
So I feel a certain way. I don't have no problems. You know me, Keisha. I ain't have no problems with.
But that's probably why you were getting people coming up to you, because people aren't used to that. Just like seeing people just go for a cause. Usually they're just there.
My pants wasn't tight or nothing. No, that dude rolling up on me.
They were a little tight.
No, they
were
wasn't.
a little tight.
You know me. I'm sitting there.
You can see his kneecaps. They were a little tight.
All right, well, back to sports. Bronny is looking. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
He said
he over there nervous.
Stick to sports. You know why he got nervous? He was like, dang, I can see kneecaps in my pants too. Oh, man.
Oh, God. All right, so Bronny is looking solid at the NBA Combine. He had the 4th highest vertical and 2nd overall in shooting drills. Do you think another team will take him before the Lakers do at 55? We were talking about this a couple shows ago.
I have no idea what they're going to do with him. I have no idea.
Which they you talking about?
The league, the NBA.
Right, the league.
I have no idea what they would do with him. Right. I know that there's a desire for him to play with his father, even though he says he wants to blaze his own trail. If you can play with your dad, you play with your dad.
Right.
You're going to always be LeBron James' son because you will never be LeBron James.
Right.
You're just going to always be LeBron James' son. Different than Ken Griffey Jr. and Griffey Sr. Griffey Sr. was not as good as Jr.
Right.
So eventually he became Ken Griffey Jr. in a short period of time.
Right.
Steph Curry was Dale Curry's son originally. Then he became Steph Curry. But they don't ever refer to him as Dale Curry's son, Steph Curry shooting the three.
Right.
Because Steph Curry is miles better than his dad was. Right. And that's the same thing with Bronny. Bronny's going to always be LeBron James' son, Bronny James.
Right.
That's just, they may even announce him in the starting lineup as that.
Starting lineup? Whoa.
We're going too fast,
you think he's going to actually?
No, I didn't say what league. I just said starting lineup. It could be the G League.
It could be the G League.
It could be overseas. It could be any of those things.
If you were in charge of a team, would you take that chance? Because that ultimately,
what chance am I taking?
Well, there's the health chance first. Well, he's
cleared.
Yeah, he's cleared.
So I got to believe in my medical staff, and I got to believe in his doctor.
Chris Bosh was cleared, right?
Okay.
But the league still had a response despite what the medical record said. So you got that.
Okay.
You have the internalized pressure, whether he vocalizes or not, of trying to live up to something, right? Whether it's he won't be his father, but he's got to be something, right?
He can be something.
That's extra pressure. That's extra pressure.
But that's okay. You asked me if I would take him.
Would you take him?
Is he better? Okay. Am I taking him just because? First of all, are we talking about the Lakers or just the league?
Just the league.
Is he better than other guys to serve a purpose for my team? Is he better?
Is he the better option?
Is he the better option? Because I ain't taking him because I got to do business with LeBron and Rich Paul. I'm not going to do that unless they tell me, we have a guy named Jadante Murray, and we have another guy named Anthony Davis that you might have a chance to get next year in free agency. Okay, I'll waste a second-round pick on him because I waste second-round picks on Euros that never even play in the United States all day long.
Right.
So I'll do that. Hell, my man in Milwaukee brother can't play Dead in the Cowboy movie. Giannis.
All of them. All of them brothers.
Man, they got national commercials and everything.
None of them brothers. Remember, the Lakers grabbed one.
But that's what I'm saying.
We could try to woo Giannis over.
And so there are guys in the league that don't belong for whatever reasons.
Right.
They're in the league.
Right.
He will be in the league despite what anybody thinks at all. It's just the reality of it.
My only question, my real question is,
hell, Mobley brother can't play, and he in the league. It's the truth.
Come on, man. He can play a little bit.
You don't think they got better options of bigs that's running around?
Probably not.
But you want to make.
But you want to make. Right.
That's the NBA, unlike the NFL. The NFL don't give two damns if
about siblings.
Oh
and all
my God, no.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Man, they'll cut your ass off. He can't play. Get him out of here. But that's my little brother. And
I when it comes to Bronny, my first thing with him is always about his health.
Yeah, of course.
And making sure. So that's my hesitation, first and foremost, is you're taking on that as well.
Yeah. And
then there is the pressure part of it. And then there's the third part of it, which is he's not that good right now. So what you're doing is investing for the future. And how much are you willing to invest to build him because you think he's worth it as an individual versus how much you want to invest in him because you're still trying to do business with everything else. You know what I'm saying? So
but I honestly think he could be an asset on somebody's roster because the NBA is filled with those guys.
No, I get it.
It's
I get it. But he's not coming. He's not coming without everything else.
Okay.
So those other guys you're talking about, they get to just be guys.
So you would be afraid to cut him, is what you said.
You'd be afraid to cut him. You'd be afraid to trade him. You would not be afraid, but you would be considering things. You'll be considering things because there'll be perhaps some long-term impact of that.
Some repercussions later on down the line.
It's a complicated thing. But with all that being said, nothing to me surpasses the health question. And if he's okay with it, I think the Lakers should use a second-round pick on him. Definitely sign up if he doesn't get drafted at all.
No, you take a second-round pick on him. There's something about being drafted. It just feels good. It just feels good.
I wouldn't know. I'm gonna assume. I never got drafted.
No,
I
got drafted, and if I'd have gone any higher, then it wouldn't have been fair.
But I so you know what, you're crazy. But I think when it comes to Bronny in particular, because he didn't get a chance to play at SC very long, and when we did see him play, it wasn't that great. There's just a lot of questions about why are we having a conversation about his draft status to begin with.
Because his last name is James. Yeah, of course.
So when you know that, when you draft him, that's all coming with it.
Yeah.
All of it.
I'm willing to take that on if I can get to Anthony Davis and Murray or whoever else they represent. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're the Lakers, yeah, you do it. But if you're any other franchise, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that.
Okay.
But if for the Lakers, for sure.
Well, say like LeBron was retired today. Do you think people would draft Bronny even though that he's not?
No.
See,
that's the point, right?
I believe yes, because he's tied to Rich Paul and Clutch.
He ain't the only player tied to Rich Paul and Clutch.
Yeah, but that's the issue. See, that's the issue. Because if I need you to do me a favor, then you might want to do that favor. Because I'm going to be around this thing for quite some time.
No, you're right.
And I got a bunch of players. You see how I was able to move Anthony Davis to LA and I moved this dude over here. Because think about it. The Lakers, along the way, allegedly, did some things before LeBron arrived.
Oh, yeah, to prepare for LeBron's arrival.
Prepare for LeBron.
Yeah.
Take care of Caldwell Pope for us. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
What's the one cat they had that's now in Utah?
THT.
TH, whatever, yeah, him. Tucker, whatever, he got like 9 names. But, all of a sudden they done drafted him and gave him a contract, giving him minutes. And,
Remember when LeBron was in Miami, he told him to draft, who was that little guard from UConn? He told him to draft him.
Kimba?
No, it wasn't him. I think they had won a championship.
Somebody.
And he was okay.
Shabazz Napier?
Maybe it was Shabazz Napier. Maybe.
Somebody, but
anyway, it was a short guard who was cool. But Bron said, yeah, he's nice. And they drafted him, but Bron didn't left.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of doing business. The NBA, unlike the NFL, they do business with their players.
Yeah.
And so,
because they it's a partnership, and they understand that. The Bronny question. To answer your question, I don't think the Lakers draft him if Bron is retired. I don't know if another team takes a chance on him if Bron retires and Bronny is out there, if they would go for it. He comes
absolutely 100%.
But he has a great pedigree. Yeah. He didn't have a great resume, but he has a great pedigree. He does
not have a great resume.
But he's got a great pedigree.
He doesn't have a great resume.
Good head on his shoulders, good athleticism, and he's going to be well coached.
You usually have a good head on your shoulders when you have parents like Savannah and LeBron and a family structure that's solid. And sound.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now WNBA, Caitlin Clark made her first career start and scored 20 points but had 10 turnovers, the most ever in WNBA debut. What do you guys think of her first performance?
Let's see. When you're the number 1 pick in the draft, chances are you're going to a team that's shitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
So she was a hyped up rookie playing in her first game, trying to work with a team that was shitty enough to draft her first overall. So I think when all things being considered, she had a solid debut. It was solid. Wasn't great, wasn't awful. It was solid. Yeah, the 10 turnovers were bad. A lot of that has to do with just communication with new teammates. A lot has to do with, oh shit, she's still in front of me. When in college, when I crossed over, she was gone. Now she's still in front of me. Oh shit, so she's got to adjust to that. I don't know if she's going to play well against New York. New York, is a hell of a team. It's a super team. I think New York actually has the GOAT on this roster. People talk about Caitlin Clark, and she was great in college, but she didn't win shit. Right? She didn't win a chip.
Don't be writing me.
Brianna Stewart won 4 straight.
On me.
But she didn't win 4 straight as a member of the team. She won 4 straight as the most outstanding player for all 4 championships. Uh-huh. And we don't even talk about her run in college. We don't ask if she's the GOAT in college.
This is a different time and era.
No, you know what this is? This is a bunch of dudes parachuting in, just noticing that women can play too, and then they wanted to crown Caitlin Clark the GOAT because they didn't know women could play like that. But the fact of the matter is that women been balling out for years. decades. I mean, it's crazy to me. The women that hyped, there was a video of, I think it was Cappy Pondexter versus Sebastian Telfair. Now, obviously, Sebastian wasn't going at her as hard as he could, but they were going at each other a little bit, and Cappy was right there. Handles, stroke, footwork, the whole nine. That was years ago. That went viral back when it mattered when things went viral. So we had known that women could play. It's just that a bunch of dudes with platforms just noticed that this one woman from Iowa could hit some jumpers, and then they parachuted in, and she's an outstanding player, so they just label her the GOAT without doing their homework. But how you gonna label her the GOAT when this woman literally won 4 straight championships as the outstanding player 4 years in a row?
So does the WNBA need her to succeed
Yes.
for it to be successful?
Yes. Every league needs their top pick to succeed.
So Jeff Teague
And that's the most important thing. She's the number 1 pick. So the eyeballs are going to see if she's legit. Every league needs their number 1 pick to be legit, to validate the process. And so what we don't want is for her to fail because all that hype she had in college, you're the number 1 pick, that makes the league look a little less. But if she succeeds, that pipeline, that interest level continues to grow. That's how you grow your league.
Yeah, Jeff Teague made some comments where he basically said the WNBA should let Caitlin cook for a little bit. Let's watch that.
No, Jeff, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
The WNBA is playing this all wrong. I'm about to tell y'all, this shit supposed to be, my dad even said to me today, it's supposed to be like WWE. Y'all supposed to play hard against her, but y'all supposed to let her kill. Because if she start having bad games and it don't look like it's supposed to look, like what we just seen from college and how we so excited about her coming to the league and changing it, and she don't kill like that, it's going to like bring it back down to reality. Like,
you want the WNBA to really write a script for Caitlin Clark.
No, I'm not saying that as a smart person. Look, y'all don't have charter flights. She damn near about to get y'all charter flights.
Yeah, they just got
she's so famous, they can't.
Mm-hmm.
She damn near get charter flights. All this stuff that they want and need, more money, all this, new teams getting added, all this. When she come, you got to protect that at all costs.
So you want them to let her win?
Not let her win. But the fact is, like, play the game. But play the game within the game. Like, y'all know this is a cash cow right here. Like, everything is changing.
So, LZ, what do you think of Jeff's comments?
Man, don't do that. Not up in here.
Man, that's so ridiculous.
But see, I feel,
That's so ridiculous.
I feel like to a point, I feel like him to a point, though. That's why I asked you
That
that
makes
question
sense,
without
I
even
feel like.
knowing.
All right.
I've never
All right.
seen his interview or anything.
Did they let Bron cook?
No, that's not what I'm.
They get fouls for him.
Did they let him cook?
No, I don't.
Did they let Wimber cook?
No, Wimber slow. He was slow in the beginning.
No one was more hyped up coming to professional leagues recent history than Victor.
No, I get it.
Did the NBA say we need to let him cook?
But the NBA was already born. It was already born. It was
All
born
right.
with Bird and Magic, and then Jordan and
did they let
everybody.
Magic cook?
Well, I don't remember
Did
it
they
back
let Will
like
cook?
that.
Who lets their opponent cook for the benefit of the business?
No, I don't think he was saying that the opponent should let him cook.
Yeah,
I think what he's saying is the league should hope that she is playing at the level that they drafted her.
It sounded like they said they should let her cook.
Yeah, I don't think the team should let her cook. No,
No.
not at all. But
No.
they need her to be at a certain level.
What they need is for the league to be as interesting as she was in college.
Yeah.
They don't
The only
need
way she gonna
they
be
don't
that,
need
though-
they don't need her to be what she was in college. They need the sport to keep that same energy and that same vibe. So if there are other players that you can tap into in addition to her or beyond her or instead of her, that's how you grow the league. You don't grow the league because the popular player in college needs to cook in the pros in order to validate all the attention that they got. Because I just told you earlier, a lot of attention they got came from people who didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Because if they really knew women's sports, they would have never said she was the GOAT to begin with.
So I assume you know women's sports.
I know something about women's basketball. For damn sure. I know that I've gone on dates and taken people to the WNBA
You
games
going on dates.
back when I was single, man. I used to take straight up. I used to take dudes
I
to the
don't wanna- I
used to take
don't
dudes
wanna
to the
know.
New York.
I
I used to
don't
take
wanna-
dudes to the
don't wanna know.
WNBA for first dates, and I would wait to see how they responded.
Does Steve know this?
No, man.
So why are you saying it?
You know,
we get the exclusive, man.
Because I want you to know that I'm real about this. That when I criticize the league, and you know this, I went to the parade. Y'all harassed me. Remember that?
Yes.
When the Sparks won, won the
there's 500 people.
When
there.
they won, it's 501 with me. When they won, I showed up and y'all ridiculed me, and I told you that the game that they won was hyped as hell. I was hyped. The MVP hits the game-winning shot over Maya Moore's Minnesota's team, brings a chip to LA, and no one cared. And it was like so frustrating because I was like, we got nothing but ballers in this league, and no one's watching them. And then Caitlin Clark comes up, and everyone wants to label her the best. And I'm not saying she's not great. Of course she's great. But it's like, damn, y'all ain't gonna do something. And now your advice is, I didn't do my homework. I haven't paid attention to the league. But my advice is just to let this one person cook because that's the one person I know. No, the advice should be, yo, Caitlin, this different girl, this different young lady, they ball out here, so you're going to have to step your game up. You're going to have to get even better to keep up with what's happening over here and let the competition be the reason why you tune in, not the lack of competition.
Yeah, we moved on.
That's
we
wrong,
moved on
man.
From that conversation about the Sparks as fast as you moved on from the Abby conversation, Keyshawn.
Man, I tried to tell y'all, I was like, Candace Parker did this, and then y'all was like, pfft. But I'm
not in our rundown today.
I'm true when it comes to like women's hoops, man. I just like, I think it's so ridiculous that there's so much energy about the WNBA around Caitlin Clark, as if we didn't have a whole We Got Next campaign that just happened, that got the WNBA started to begin with, and everyone was talking about it, but no one supported it. So this time around, instead of just talking about it, instead of offering advice from a distance, go to some damn games, buy some jerseys, buy A's shoes. She got new shoes coming out in next year. Asia was?
I know it is.
Best player?
I ain't buying no shoes.
Why you ain't buying no shoes?
I'm an Adidas guy. I ain't buying no shoes.
All right, fine. That's
Freebies.
different. But you know what I'm saying?
I get it. Support it.
If you're going to talk about it for real, then invest in it for real.
For sure.
Yeah, that's all.
I used to go to all the WNBA games back in the day, though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Tina Thompson was like one of my closest friends. And
Tina
Lisa
was
Leslie
cold,
and,
man.
Oh, I should go to all the Comet games in Houston. I'd fly in just for the game.
Can I tell you something?
What? You always, what you get ready to tell me this inappropriate?
Tina had some snatchback power for me.
Man, what the hell is wrong with you?
I thought Tina Thompson was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought she was the most beautiful basketball player I had ever seen. What was she, like 6'5", 6'6"?
No, Tina's 6'2.5".
I thought she was taller than
No,
that.
6'2.5", 6'2", 6'3".
Full lips. She always made sure it was
anyway,
like
man,
cherry apple red.
Keyshawn, keep it moving, man.
Did she put Vaseline on top of the red lipstick? It was always shining and bright. It was like, you
my high school girl and my college girl, man. Stop.
Anyway, I'm just saying, I thought Tina was gorgeous.
No, I used to go to all the games.
She was
back
cold
then,
too.
Comments, and then when she went to the Sparks, I would go.
Oh, you mean the Comets?
No, I would go in Houston,
right?
But then she was with the Sparks.
Oh yeah.
So I would go too.
That's when she was on the decline though.
That thing was. them games was interesting. That's all I can tell you.
That was a decline. When she was in Houston, she was rolling.
No, of course, because it was her, Cynthia, Cheryl, Swoops, and there was another little guard. I can't think of her name.
Kim before she passed away.
Kim.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a white chick, right? Or was she light skinned?
She was light skinned.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
And she had blonde hair.
Yeah.
So last week, Austin Rivers has claimed that 30 NBA players could be in the NFL, ignited a heated debate on social media. Dad, what's your take on it?
30?
At least 30 NBA players could be in the NFL.
I would probably agree with him. There's 30. There's probably, I don't know all. I could just say, do I believe Donovan Mitchell could play in could he have played pro football? Yes.
Absolutely.
Could Dart play pro football? Yes.
Could
LeBron James play pro football? Yes. He could have been a defensive end, pass rusher. Westbrook, maybe a receiver, a safety, or something along those lines. There's certain guys.
Where are you looking at?
He's not wrong about it. The problem with Austin is these dudes that play basketball, if they get a fingernail, they're going to quit. That's all. That's how they are. They just, you blow on basketball players, they done for 10 weeks.
That's not all of them, man.
I didn't say all.
What about vice versa? Can any NFL players play in the NBA?
I probably would say there's probably, in my time dealing with the NFL, there's probably legitimately 10 dudes that probably could have played.
Okay.
Like a Randy Moss probably could have played if he'd have focused in on that. Tony Gonzalez could have played if he'd have focused in on it. Myles Garrett, if he focused in. Julius Peppers, if he focused in on it. You know, guys
I
like
don't know. Julius could have got here.
No, Julius started in North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know that. That doesn't mean that you. That doesn't mean you guaranteed to be an NBA player.
Start. I said get into the NBA.
Eric Martrose started in North Carolina.
5'6", but he played in the NBA. Give me 6'5".
He was 7 feet tall.
Yeah, Julius Peppers is an animal.
6'5", 6'7"?
Man, he big as hell.
No, he's
swole.
He's swole, but
he's a
height
he's
thing.
a 6'6".
Power forward. Exactly. That's
Back
what I'm saying.
then.
Eric Montrose was 7 feet. So even though
but look,
the height's a big thing, man.
But dude, long arms, everything.
No, he's not.
But there's not a whole lot of them.
This is what I would say about him.
They would have been most of the guys that I think could have played in from football to the NBA was going to either be
DNs.
They was going to wind up being a 3 with a bad shot or a 4. That's it. Wasn't no guards. All them dudes thinking they could play because they could dunk and all them receivers. Man, y'all get y'all ass out of here, man, please.
For me, when I think about Austin's comments, I think that the entire NFL is made up of guys
that wish they could play
with the mental ability to play basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think the NBA has a lot of guys with the mental capacity
doing Oklahoma drills.
Yeah, I don't think they. I really don't. And it's not. It has nothing to do with masculinity or manhood.
You have a lot of NFL players that wish they was NBA guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a ton of them. There's no question about that.
Absolutely.
And you got a lot of NBA guys that wish they was entertainers.
Right, but not football players.
No, but not football players, but entertainers. They wish they was in the music business or
1000%.
The fashion business.
And it makes the most sense. If you can do both, why not choose the profession where they see your face, where you make more money, and there's less long-term injury?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't? I mean, it just makes all the sense in the world. And I don't think that there's enough guys in the NBA who are willing to go back to work after they take that first hit that they didn't see coming.
Oh, no.
See, anybody can take the hit you see coming, the hit you don't see coming, and you realize once you come through, you got to go back there and do it again.
It's not fun. It's not fun at all.
Yeah, I don't think the NBA got dudes like that.
They don't really understand. I was trying to explain this to Paul the other day. I said, man, what you don't understand about football is they pay us to hit you. They don't pay in the NBA for you to be hit.
Right.
So there's a big difference.
Right.
We get paid to hit you.
Right.
Y'all can't take that type of punishment. Literally every play. If you playing 70 plays a game, you're going to probably get hit 50% of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not really what you want.
And not just hit once, because you usually get game tackle and you hit the ground.
Oh, y'all got on pads.
No,
you don't understand.
Man,
Those pads are nothing.
You know what? I used to be like that because I didn't play football, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe. But being right there on the field, all those years, hearing what it sounds like to hear that many men running down where the ground shakes. And you like,
see that many men.
Man, I told your producer, I knew I had too much bitch in me to play football, man. There's nowhere in the world I was going to run across the middle more than once. I might have done it the first time, and as soon as I got hit going across the middle, I would be like, yeah, man, I need a pick. I need an out of bounds play. I'm not built like that.
Yeah, it's
and I don't think a lot of NBA guys, man. I don't really.
They not.
Yeah, man.
It's a different. They didn't grow up in it. It's a little bit different. Like I played basketball, I couldn't shoot. I could do everything else.
Right.
Can't shoot, so it wasn't no point.
But you didn't have to look over your shoulder wondering if somebody was going to knock your head off your head every time you had the ball in your hands.
In football, you gotta always be aware of what's around you. Your surrounding, you worry about a pick here and there in basketball because if you don't get it don't get called out and you don't get your backside help, your weak side help, and all of a sudden you turn and bam, you done ran in the shack. That's 3-4 times a game.
Right.
In football.
And when it happens, there might be a whistle blown. You get to roll around the ground a little bit. If you get hit real bad, you may have to leave and take a breath.
And if you're the number one guy in football, unlike basketball, they looking to hurt you. They're coming, it's bad intentions. Yeah. Them dudes with them full beards, them big old beards, they got the big beards.
Like that Ewok I showed you at the airport, that picture I showed you.
They mean big old beards. They got car seats in the back. Their girlfriend or wife mad at them for whatever reason. And now they mad on the way to go to the game. They thinking about doing some harm to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of stuff you got to deal with.
There's nothing to me more dangerous in the locker room than a 30-year-old veteran.
Mad.
Because
he might get cut.
Nothing more dangerous.
And them checks might not come. So Austin Rivers has a point, but he doesn't even look like he even know nothing about football.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he does.
He too pretty to me.
Oh, here you go. That's old school, man.
He too pretty to me.
Well, CBS
dude like that coming across the middle.
He get crazy.
Oh, they gonna knock him out.
You know, I did a story years ago, man, for Page 2 about light-skinned football players. And the whole, swear to God, because the whole piece was based on what you're saying. And the number of light-skinned brothers that told me 1,000% they get hit harder because they light-skinned. So it's so funny.
I don't know if that's true.
No, man. I talked to a bunch of light-skinned
dudes. They
dudes.
think that.
And they feel that they are targeted a little bit because people think they're soft and they get tried all the time.
Well, they do that in basketball too, though.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, I did this whole piece about, I talked to I think Tony McGee was like one of you. Remember him? Like I talked to a bunch of light-skinned dudes and they all talked about how there was this unspoken sort of assumption because they were pretty boys that they wouldn't be as tough. They wouldn't be able to bounce back as much. They wouldn't, there's some truth to it to a degree. See, look at you. See,
there is.
I didn't say that. That was not me.
There's just some truth to it to a degree. I ain't gonna
Why do
lie
you say
to
that?
you.
Why do you say that?
I'm just saying.
The whole NBA, the NBA is being run by light skin right now.
If I saw a fair-skinned brother trying to cover me at the corner spot, I'd laugh.
Just because he was fair-skinned?
Hey, come on, man. He ain't built like that. That's how he ain't built like that. I'm just being honest with you. It ain't nothing new. I said this many a time. Like, man, come on, man. You're not built like that. Just not built that way.
Is there any light-skinned dude that you think is built like that?
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez was built like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of them. But I'm just saying, like...
Is this like an extension of the whole Drake, like Kendrick beef?
I'm with Kendrick. I'm from LA. So.
I'm from Kendrick. I'm with Kendrick
finally
too.
said it. You're Kendrick.
I said it the last time.
Oh, wait. He was on the fence?
You used to say it.
He was on the fence?
You didn't... What you didn't do is you didn't catch what I said. I said I'm authentic.
So what are you saying?
I'm authentic.
I didn't catch it.
If I'm authentic, what does that make the next person? Unauthentic.
Hey.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But see, you didn't catch that smoke that I threw at you because it was over your head.
Okay.
That's why.
Keyshawn, are you Drake? Are you Drake?
I'm Team Drake, 100%.
But think about it.
Man, what'd you do wrong, Key?
No, think about it. He's spoiled.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're not going to get into it on air.
No, you don't want to get into it.
That's what it is. There you go, yeah.
Look at him.
But you know what? It's a generational thing, too.
Look, though, he grew up different than me, so he gonna see it different.
You know what? That's true, man, because my kid is into Drake, too. And I remember he was trying to convince me that Drake was a good rapper. And I said to him, man, let me tell you something.
I like Drake music.
I said, let me tell you something about Drake. He's from Toronto. So every single scenario that he talks about, you need to put that Toronto lens on it. And if it doesn't match up, ask yourself why.
Look, man.
Why does someone...
That's the same thing with the light skin and people are from California, so
that's not... It's not... I didn't say he was soft because he was light skinned. I'm saying the things he raps about doesn't seem to be consistent with the things we know about Toronto and his upbringing. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, that's why I say to you, son.
You guys aren't really listening. It's fine.
No, we are listening. You're just young and you like all that. And
he's still mad because that whole Atlanta part and not like us. That was savage.
Oh yeah, that's just
that was savage. You can't recover from that.
But I like Drake's music. I like Drake. He's always been nice to me when I see him. But I also, you got to understand how I grew up and where I grew up at.
Right.
In the type of individuals that I surrounded myself with growing up. And even in the league, when I got to the league. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm hanging around people, it was different. I was born different.
Right.
I was raised different.
I know.
So for me, when I hear that, I'm like, man, come on, man, stop.
And you just brush it off.
Because it don't really register.
I get offended by it because he represents hip hop for a lot of people.
Yeah, but I can't.
That's the thing that bothers me.
I can't rock
It's
with
like you're doing
that.
cosplay. It's like, I don't have a problem. When Ski-Bo was talking about, I wish I was a little bit taller, I wish I was a baller. I'm good with that because you talk about what you know. Speech for Arrested Development. A lot of people didn't mess with him, but he talked about what he knew. KRS-One talks about what he knows. When it came to Drake, I was like, this really feels like you're doing a character extremely well, but it doesn't seem as if, based upon the things that we know of your life, that what you're talking about is consistent.
We're not even gonna go there, but you're not gonna put it, man. I ain't letting nobody slap me and keep it moving.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm just here we go. My ass
with the Diddy thing. I know
it's not happening.
Keyshawn, it was open hand too, man.
Not hitting me.
It was open hand.
And Puff is
cool,
I
but might let a punch go by.
Not doing that.
I might let a punch go by, but a slap is so disrespectful.
Not doing that.
A slap is so disrespectful.
It's just not.
It's so disrespectful.
And now this dude rapping about it in a diss track. I can't. That's why I say what you rap about sometimes. Even when he did his diss track and it was the gunshots, boop boop boop. It's like, come on, man.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Don't do that.
You Degrassi.
You can't do that. Because you ain't never picked up no pistol and shot nobody or shot at nobody.
Stop. I don't know why we still feel the need to tap into that sort of characterization of blackness in order to be authentically black.
I have no idea.
I'm not saying don't talk about your life.
Yeah.
But don't pretend.
Yeah, don't pretend. Don't do that
as if hardship is part of your story because that's going to make you more black.
And it's not.
Because black people aren't looking forward to being in hardship.
And my son,
that's not something you look forward to.
Accuses me of being rude because I try to tell him the truth. I'm like, dude, that's not.
That's not.
We're not gonna do that. I don't want my sons and my daughters growing up trying to be something that they not.
1000%. I'm just like, I'm from Detroit. My son is not from Detroit. He ain't never seen parts of Detroit that I grew up in, and he would never see parts of it. There's no need for me to take him on a tour and go, this is where I saw the dead body, and this is where no, there's no need for that.
He likes that. That's the weird part, though. You're the complete opposite of what he would do.
Man, I want them to know.
Can't you just tell them?
No, I want them to see. I want them to understand.
What kind of, did you do on a city bus tour? You get off the little thing and come down.
He said, I like that. No, it's not that I like that. It's a perspective. So I want them to understand how hard I work to get them put in a position where they don't have to work as hard as me.
And you think the only way to do that is to physically take them there.
At that time, yes. I want them to feed the homeless and understand that they have a privileged lifestyle.
Yeah.
But your ass, once upon a time, could have been in this situation. Appreciate that when we go down Figueroa, is a 600 square foot house and every window got bars on it. I want y'all to see that.
Yeah.
Because that ain't how you living. You tucked behind some pretty ass gates.
Right.
You got to show ID to get through the gate before you get to the next gate to get to our gate.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
I want them to.
You 1000%.
I want them to have that. I don't want them walking around here being lame either.
Right.
I teach them all. If we can put his hands on you, put your hands back on them.
Yep.
But that's just how I am as a parent.
It's funny, man. I didn't take him back to where I grew up. But what I did do was tell him the lessons and then try to prepare him to meet that world in case he encountered it, right?
Absolutely.
So like you, I put my kid, he was in martial arts like at 3 or 4. Black belt. I dare you, try him.
Why I had to be black belt?
Because all the way through. And I would tell him, I was like going, listen, because I grew up real thin.
Yeah.
I'm like, when you thin in the hood, dude's going to try you all the time. So all you got to do is pop him in that throat once or twice real quick. And, they'll reconsider, or at the very least, they'll know that you're not someone just to.
Yeah,
you do have to tell your kids that, man.
I'm crazy though, because I try to scare them a lot too.
No, you got to.
I've been trying to scare them. I put them in the car, drive them around, and say, "See them? You see how they look over there?" I ain't got, because I want them to. I really, honestly want them to appreciate what they have and to understand how hard it was to get to where they're at. That's all.
No. I got you.
He laughs at me. He thinks I'm a joke.
I got you. But those lessons.
He can go live with Drake in Toronto and see how that work out for you.
So CBS recently shared their quarterback power ranking.
Is that the sign?
Isn't that what he did? A little heart thing before Caitlin Clark. He had everybody else doing this first.
Oh, I don't know. Is that
what happened?
The thing that they do with
the Drake song
thingy?
The Kiki, are you in?
Oh, you like that? The Kiki thing? Yeah, they would do that to me.
Yeah, see?
So CBS recently shared their quarterback power rankings. We have a photo of it. I think the biggest uproar has been Lamar Jackson ranked all the way down at 6. But is this ranking facts or fiction?
I mean, it's facts and false.
What don't you like about it?
I would say that's probably the top 10 QBs. It just might be in a different order.
Yeah, they got Purdy at 2.
Yeah, come on, man, stop.
I mean, but they got CJ at 5.
He
had a run.
Where do you have him?
He had a run, right?
Would I have Brock Purdy?
No, where do you have CJ Stroud? Because I think he's.
Man, I would go
5.
Patrick Mahomes 1, Lamar Jackson 2, Joe Burrow 3.
Joe Burrow 3. Sheesh.
You can't listen. Let me tell you.
I'm putting Joe Burrow ahead of Josh Allen. Don't tell me nothing. I'm so sick and tired of Josh Allen.
I don't
Y'all
like
hype
Josh
him
Allen
up
either.
super. He good and everything, but no, man.
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah.
My thing with CJ, he's my only problem with that list. It's only because in order to be a top 10 player, I need to know that you've adjusted to the adjustments. And I don't want to give you all the success based upon an initial run. I need to know what happens once they got all the film on you
He all right.
in the league.
He here to stay.
And he could be here to
He here
stay.
to stay.
But if the league gets all the film on you and they adjust to your tendencies and you come back and you're still able to succeed or adjust to their adjustments, then I'm like going, okay, now I see what you're doing. Because remember, we've seen guys come in and have a great 1 or 2. Vince Young, I hate to say it, a great 1 or 2 years coming in right out the gate. People adjust to what you're good at and what you're comfortable with. And what happens? You get
Jeff
exposed.
Fisher was his coach.
I don't care, man. It's the same principle, man. If you have a great first 2 years and they adjust to your things you're great at and you can't adjust to the adjustments or you can't move beyond those things that you're good at, you can't be on the top 10 list. So I don't know if we have enough data to say that CJ's top 10 because we don't know how he's going to turn out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say he's a top 10 quarterback right now.
Why would you say that? Based
right
on
now,
what?
based on what I just saw.
Based on what?
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah, because this is year by year. Brock Purdy wasn't on there last year, so it's year to year.
Brock Purdy's got more film.
Yeah, but it's year to year. Brock Purdy's on there based on last year.
Brock Purdy's based on the fact that we know he's adjusted to the adjustments.
I don't know that he's adjusted to the adjustments because I watched him against Baltimore and he didn't adjust. He gave the ball to the other team multiple times.
Where did he end up at the end of the season?
I understand that, but his
I'm just curious.
Characters and his
how did the season end? Keyshawn Jr. Where did the season end for Brock Purdy last year?
Stroud,
the Super Bowl.
Where was that?
Wait, hold on.
How many years has he been in the league?
You almost made me call you Skip.
How many years has he been in the league? Brock Purdy.
LZ.
2. Dose.
He took over a team in Houston that was stained. Is all outdoors. Dirty,
doo-doo,
nothing.
Garbage.
And led them to the second round of the playoffs.
Which was incredible.
So, based on one season,
Tim Tebow took a Denver team that was trash.
Stop.
And in one season,
he ain't
got them in the second.
Did he not?
You
said Tim Tebow.
Oh, Tim Tebow?
He took a Denver team that was trash. Tim Tebow, no. Tell truth, shame the devil. Tim Tebow took a lame-ass Denver team. Got a church on you.
Great defense.
You gonna go to church on because you know I can't say that when you start talking about shame the devil and all. Now,
but it's the same thing. He took one team,
not the same thing.
One playoff run, got to the second round.
Are you fucking crazy?
Yes, I am fucking crazy because I'm just going in your rationale, which is crazy.
It's not the same thing. Tim Tebow was on the team. Okay? CJ Stroud led them from beginning to end.
Wait, what year did Tim Tebow throw that one pass that got to the second round?
It was a 6-yard pass, and
what year was
Demaryius Thomas took it 99.
What year was that? What year in his career was that?
Man.
Was that his first year?
Probably his second year, I think.
Wasn't that his rookie year?
Was it his rookie year?
It was his rookie year.
Not the same.
And he led a team.
It's not the same.
No. I'm not. What I'm saying is this.
One dude wins rookie of the year. He goes to a Pro Bowl as a rookie.
And one dude throws a pass that has the most yards in that position than any other in that recent history. How many yards was it? 76-yard pass?
I think it was like 99.
80.
Stop, though.
It's not. No, I'm not saying that the same talent level, but I'm saying based upon your metric, you got to give me something more than I had a good run in my rookie year.
Each quarterback, each one of those quarterbacks, other than the veteran dudes that are young, is based on their year. Brock Purdy is there based on going to the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy wasn't the top 10 quarterback a year ago. And he had a magical carpet ride before the Super Bowl by going to the NFC Championship game.
Yes, and then what happened? Teams adjusted, and what did people start to say? Is Brock Purdy still the guy? Can he adjust? Is the magic gone? He went through all of that. He went through all of that. CJ hasn't gone through that yet.
I think he'll be fine.
But you know what I'm saying, though?
No,
CJ hasn't answered any of those questions because all he's had is a great rookie year. Now he's got the questions. You get on the list to me when you have an opportunity to answer everybody's questions.
The journalist is going to tell me about football.
No, the journalist is going to tell you about stats and data. I'm telling you about football, but I'm telling you about if you're going to use a measuring stick, make it a legit measuring stick.
It's legit.
All right. CJ's in your top 10. I didn't see Matthew Stafford up there.
I mean,
which is
a little older.
He would have been.
Which is disturbing to me.
He would have been up
probably
there.
11.
Which is disturbing to me.
He'd have been up there 3 years ago.
Yeah. Which is disturbing to me.
3 years ago, he'd have been up there.
Okay. All right.
3 years ago, he'd have been up there.
But he's not a top 10 quarterback right now.
I mean, you could probably argue he's in that.
Was Goff? I didn't see Goff on that list.
I like Goff.
I think I saw Jared Goff up there.
Can we see the list? I didn't see Jared Goff.
I like Jared
Bring
Goff.
up the list again.
I like Jared Goff. I like Matthew Stafford.
Okay, where is he? Where is he at?
No, Goff's not on there.
Oh, wow.
So when I tell you the list is doo-doo, this is what I'm talking about.
But all those quarterbacks.
Jared Goff have been to a damn Super Bowl, man. And they got CJ who won one round of playoffs.
To be up there.
I think Joe Burrow's a little too high. Just from something that he did 2 years ago.
Man. Anyway, man, I got to get out of here. I got to run.
The only other player I would say is player too high is probably Jordan Love.
Yeah, because he's done it a short period of time.
Right, exactly.
But this is all about the future. Thank you, LZ.
Thank you, sir.
So much.
Did we resolve everything? Bronze GOAT. Right? We got that. Harrison Butker, stupid.
Or an ass, whichever one.
Or an ass, whatever you want to say. What else we got?
I'm not gay.
You're not gay.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not afraid of glitter.
He just doesn't like it, but he's not afraid of it.
And you don't eat cornbread. Okay, I think we done.
Yeah. Oh! Keyshawn.
Yes, sir.
Before we leave, do you like collard greens?
I love collard greens.
Okay.
Love collard.
That wasn't me, man. That wasn't me, man.
Here's one story before I wrap this up. 4th of July, about 5 years ago, whatever it was, I go to LZ and Steve's house. They living in this plush Hollywood Hills, overlooking the city, the whole deal. 3 levels, the flowers.
It was Silver Lake, man. I was with the people.
Oh, yeah, Silver Lake. That's right. He's with the people. Same thing. Hollywood Hills, Silver Lake. It's the great overlooking the city. You know, his mom in there with the Kraft macaroni and cheese going.
Don't you say that. She even no Kraft macaroni and cheese.
She ain't listening anyway. Now, mom's is cooking, getting down, right? So Steve's sister, which is LZ's sister-in-law, we're eating. I get the stuff, the food. Greens. Collard greens, Kiki.
Yep, greens.
Good, right?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, what are those? I say, collard greens. You want to try some? She says, yes. Oh, my God. So I go, I get her the collard greens. We go, we get them back. She sits down.
I don't have anything to say off of this. It's just going to be, this. I won't have any come back. It's just going to be so embarrassing.
So, collard greens. Okay. She gets them, eats them. She goes, I like them. They're missing something. Like some nuts or something. You need some crunch in it. She wanted to put some fucking walnuts.
Some cranberries in it.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
I had to get up. She wanted to put walnuts or cashews in the greens. I said, no, it's not kale. It's not the it's not
spinach
quite
or whatever.
it's not the same.
So when this was going down, it's important to know I wasn't there. I ran to the store to get some more ice because, brothers be drinking. And so I had to get some more ice. I come back. Before I can walk through the door, Key runs out the door, says, come here. And I'm like, what? Walks me over to my sister-in-law, whose name is Lisa, demands that she repeats the story, and he just looks at me.
What type of people?
I would have did the same thing.
Like, what the fuck is going on in your household?
Yeah.
She ready to put some nuts in collard greens. Who else was there with me? It was my girl that used to work with us at ESPN.
Jamel Carrie.
Hill and Carrie. All they sitting there. We was looking. We was like,
it was so bad, man.
Now, mind you, she wasn't black. Just want you to know.
Just hand her some rooster. Just want you to know.
You know.
You know, we've addressed that incident.
Okay.
I sent the proper paperwork to the committee.
Okay.
She was under review.
Yep.
She's had some training.
Yeah, she needs some training.
She's still under probation, but we've been really encouraged by her progress.
Okay.
All right.
That's a wrap for today's show. Thanks again to my partner LZ for joining the show. And look, I know you can listen to All Facts Pod wherever, whenever, but now I need you to subscribe onto YouTube. Last week we hit 50,000 subs, but I want to double it up. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be giving away a signed football to the lucky subscriber once we hit the 100,000 mark. So go tell a friend who'll tell a friend who'll tell another friend who then tells another friend to subscribe to All Facts Pod on YouTube. All right then, until peace. For me and Lil Kiki, I'm out.